Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mr. Raymond D. Black, age 80, of Sylacauga, died June 19 at Grandview Medical Center. Mr. Black was a veteran of the U.S. Army and a member of the Sylacauga Rescue Squad. And he, along with his wife, Patsy, were caretakers of Sylacauga's Lake Howard for many years. In lieu of flowers, donations can be made to the Sylacauga Rescue Squad. Online condolences at curtisandsonfh.com. No service will be held at this time. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Mrs. Gabrielle Faith Calhoun, age 29, is Saturday at Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga at 1 o'clock with Pastor Sheila Chapman officiating. Burial in the Lily Roden Cemetery of Childersburg. Visitation today at the funeral home from 1 until 8 o'clock. Ms. Calhoun died June 14th at Highlands Medical Center in Scottsboro. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga directing. Memorial service for Mr. Willie Nolan will be 1 o'clock Saturday at Passion Church with interment in the New Life Memorial Gardens at Tallapoosa County. Wright's Funeral Home, Alexander City directing. Homegoing celebration for Mr. Chester Chapman, age 84, is 1 o'clock Saturday at Mount Zion Baptist Church in Cropwell with Pastor Cameron Thomas officiate. Interment in the Mount Zion Memorial Cemetery. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Christian Memorial Funeral Home in Pell City in charge of the arrangements. Visitation is today 6 until 8 at the funeral home. Online condolences at christianmemorialfh.com. Funeral service for Mr. Johnny Frank Fluker, age 72, is Saturday at Pine Grove Baptist Church in Sylacauga at noon with the Reverend Clifton Cook officiating. Burial in the Pine Grove Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation at the funeral home today, 1 until 8 o'clock, with a family hour from 6 until 8. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga directing. Funeral service for Mrs. Myra Ann Fluker, age 58, is Saturday at New Life Outreach Ministers in Sylacauga at 2 o'clock, with Minister Ira Tolles officiating. The station is today at the funeral home from 1 until 8 o'clock. Ms. Fluker died June 15th at UAB Medical Center in Birmingham. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Funeral service for Frederick Bernard Gross, age 45, is Saturday at 1 p.m. from Little Jerusalem AFM Church of God with Bishop James Truss Sr. officiating. Interment in the Pine Grove Church Cemetery. Mr. Gross died June 13th at UAB in Birmingham. The body will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Anniston Funeral Service directing. Funeral service for Mr. Lewis Carl Jemison, age 95, will be Saturday at 1 o'clock from Sims Funeral Service Chapel in Talladega. The Reverend Jeffrey Jemison officiating. Burial in the Knoxville Cemetery. Sims Funeral Service directing. Celebration of life for Mr. Abdullah B. Cohn, Sr., age 64, is 1 o'clock Saturday at Evangel Temple Deliverance Center in Vincent, with Bishop Lotus McGregor officiating. Interment in the Alabama National Cemetery in Montevallo. Visitation will be held today 1 until 7 at Grace Memorial Chapel. That's celebration of life for Mr. Abdullah B. Coon, Sr., age 64. Celebration of life for Ray Latham, age 75, of Munford, is going to be Saturday from 4 until 6 at his home for family and friends. Mr. Latham died June 19th. Graveside service for Mrs. Sabrina Todd, age 50, of Sylacauga. That visitation will be today 1 until 7 at Sunset Memorial Chapel in Childersburg. Faith Memorial Chapel in Bessemer directing. Funeral service for Billy Joe Shaw, age 89, of Sylacauga, will be Saturday at noon From the chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home, Reverend Keith Owens will be officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Mrs. Shaw died Wednesday, June 19th at Nolan Health Services. Visitation Saturday 10 until noon at the funeral home. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Jerry Dale Shaw, age 53, is today at Westside Baptist Church in Talladega at 2 o'clock. Reverend Joel Davis officiating. Burial in the Oak Hill Cemetery. Visitation today 1 until 2 prior to the service at the church. Online condolences at urseryfuneralhome.com. Ursery Funeral Home directing. And funeral service for Mrs. Marion Cox is 1 o'clock today at Great Bethel Baptist Church, with burial following in the Macedonia Primitive Baptist Church Cemetery. Wright's Funeral Home, Alexander City, in charge of the arrangements. This obituary report on a Friday morning brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg. 256-245-4361 for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.